So good afternoon, and it's always nice to get an opportunity to be inside this beautiful facility. We have a nice little announcement, but I don't know if you've noticed or the camera will pick up on this from 75 feet away, but I have a lot less stress when I walk in this building, and so it is nice. It has a wonderful calming effect, and I appreciate the opportunity to be here. The last several years, under the leadership of Dr. Patricia McDonnell, Wichita has had the great honor of hosting some fantastic world-renowned exhibits. This year, the tradition continues with the exhibit featuring world-renowned American artist Georgia O'Keeffe. This show will offer an intimate glimpse of the artist alongside her art with her paintings, photo portraits, and original clothing. And so here to tell us more is Dr. McDonnell. Thank you. Thank you for taking some stress off of me.
Well, thank you, Mayor Longwell. And yes, we have a beautiful, beautiful facility owned and maintained by the city. Thank you very much. And increasingly, we welcome more and more residents of the city to our museum. Our attendance is up 60% in the last handful of years. Thanks to many different things, but thanks to exhibitions like Monet de Matisse that we hosted last spring. And this year, we're continuing that tradition with an exhibition devoted to Georgia O'Keeffe. So I would say first, this is a nationally traveling exhibition. The other cities that are hosting it include New York and Boston and Cleveland and Miami. So we're thrilled that we here in Wichita were able to grab a spot on the very limited tour. And also excited because we are a museum devoted to American art, and Georgia O'Keeffe is one of the major American artists of the 20th century. She's a household name. We know Leonardo da Vinci, we know Claude Monet, we know Andy Warhol, and we know Georgia O'Keeffe. So we're anticipating that in Wichita, as in the other cities where this exhibition has gone, we're going to welcome waves of visitors. This has been an exhibition that has been a blockbuster in other cities, and it's been beloved by the crowds, and it's been beloved by the critics. So it is an art exhibition. There are 27 wonderful, beautiful paintings by Georgia O'Keeffe, but it's slightly different. I've come to call it also an exhibition that looks at her biography, and it is a lifestyle show. Who knew Georgia O'Keeffe saved most of her clothing from across her lifetime? The curator for the exhibition discovered that when she was researching in Santa Fe at the Georgia O'Keeffe Museum, and the exhibition then puts together items of her original clothing, dresses and jackets and hats, and actually a really fun pin that the artist Alexander Calder made and gave to her. And it is the clothing that is put alongside portraits of her by likes including Ansel Adams and Irving Penn and Cecil Beaton and her husband Alfred Stieglitz, who was a very famous photographer. So that you're able to see, oh, clothing, oh, there she is in the dress, oh my goodness, there she is in 5 portraits wearing the hat that is encircled by paintings, all of which, when you put them together, make a pretty clear argument that this is a woman that looked at every small detail in her life. Every detail for her was an aesthetic choice, an artistic choice, and so how she presented herself to the world and her hairstyle and her clothing was the same decision, or the same decision kind of process for how she composed and painted a painting. So it's really, I think people in Wichita are gonna really get this show and love it. If you don't read a single label, you're still able to look around and understand that this is how this artist thought, and designed and lived, and it all informed the beautiful paintings that we also are showing on our wall. So great that Wichita got this show as it's making its way around the country. Really wonderful that we have 27 masterpieces by an artist who is a household name, and great that it's an art exhibition, and then so much more will help all visitors really get behind the scenes with this important artist, Georgia O'Keeffe. Yeah, so we open this coming weekend. The exhibition runs for quite some time. It runs through June 23rd. We have lots of amazing programming connected with it. We hope people will come out on this Saturday. It is a marathon day to welcome the show, with the curator giving a talk and a film on George O'Keeffe, and art making for the kids. And you can't really call an opening an extravaganza if you don't have a handful of food trucks now in the 21st century. So it's going to be quite a hullabaloo at the Art Museum on Saturday. We hope you come, but we'll have the show through June 23rd. So thank you, Mayor, for the attention and coming today. And we're so glad that you're breathing a little bit more easily, given the beauty of the facility.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dr. McDonnell. Thank you for what you do here. I suppose the natural question, certainly for me, it would be, how were we able to pull this off? I mean,
it's always, timing and who you know.
So, that's remarkable feat to be compared to some of the cities that this exhibit's going to be traveling to. So it truly is punching above our weight class. But we've said all along, Wichita is a special place. It's a place that often has amenities that many larger cities would love to have. And we're continuing to gain in the momentum of seeing some additional amenities come to life. And so again, hope that you are able to make it out. The show will last all the way through June 23rd, so there's time, but this weekend I think would be extra special if you can make it out this weekend. But there's still ample time between now and when the exhibit moves on to another city. But what an awesome thing to have. And so we're looking forward to that. And I think right now, those that would like to take it, Dr. McDonnell's willing to do a little traveling tour and allow you to see the exhibit before anyone else gets to see the exhibit. So you're going to get extra special treatment for those that came today, and we won't allow anyone else in. So if someone didn't make it to this press conference, they're going to have to wait until Saturday.
Yeah.
So we'll start the tours. Are there any questions?
Do you have a favorite? Can you go?
Oh boy, I have an answer.
The mayor already answered my question on, I guess you kind of answered, but I might ask it to you again. How were you guys able to pull this off and get an exhibit like this?
So the question was, how on earth did we get this exhibition for Wichita? Well, as in so many things in life, it's timing and who you know. So we have a special connection to the guest curator, who's a Stanford University professor and a personal friend, so that didn't hurt. And then it just so happened that they had one last opening in the tour by the time we found out about it, and we happened to have that time open in our exhibition calendar, and we grabbed it as fast as we could. So that's the answer to that question. The other question was, do I have a favorite? Gosh, that's kind of a Sophie's Choice question. All your children are your favorite. They're wonderful, wonderful gems in the show. There is a very large painting that she did of New York City that I think is really pretty profound. And the correct answer to that question should be, I like the Wichita Art Museum painting that is part of this show best. And it is a painting that was requested on loan for New York and has been making its way across the country with the exhibition. So that's definitely my favorite.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Now you said that said that this was not just an exhibit, but you also said it was like a lifestyle history of her. Is that?
Well, I said that it's an art exhibition, but it is unusual because it's more than that, and it looks at her biography, and it is a lifestyle show as well. So it's a very unusual exhibition by the combination of paintings and portraits and the artist's original clothing.
What else on that? What else do you have besides her clothing? I mean, that kind of looks at her biography. I mean,
There are 27 paintings. There's 70 photographic portraits of Georgia O'Keeffe, from her high school yearbook to a wonderful image that Andy Warhol took of her in her 90s, and every possible image of her in between. And then in comparison, immediately adjacent to one of those photographic portraits of her is exactly the shirt that she was wearing, or she had a special kind of cowboy hat during the years that she lived in New Mexico. Well, we have that hat here on exhibit at the Wichita Art Museum.